Oh wow! It looks like we're having some technical difficulties like usual, everybody. So just hang on with us just a moment as we get Liquid Crypto up here as a speaker. We have invited him, but like usual, there's always something going on. So just give us a minute as we sort it all out, and then we'll be getting started. Um, just a little reminder, guys. We did have Liquid Crypto on here during their IDO, or their early times, but now they're launched and they're coming back to talk to us again, and it's gonna be really exciting. So get your questions prepared for later on in the AMA, and I can't wait to unpackage everything and to just see how exciting it's been since they've launched. So just hang on with us a minute, then we'll get everything sorted out. Liquid Crypto, if you want to maybe exit and then rejoin, and then I could possibly just and then you request, and then I'll invite you that way instead of inviting you up as a speaker. Seems like he got the message. Hopefully it'll work out this time. Looks like you're back in as a listener. Go ahead and request, and then I'll get you from the approval on the request. Because if I get you from invite to speak, we might have that same issue that we just had. Looks like he's trying. Give us a moment, fellas. I think we have him.
I'm here. I'm here. Tried to get on, wasn't able to
Hey, how
connect.
you? Cheers, buddy. How you
I'm
doing?
very good, thanks, and thanks for having us again. I really appreciate it.
Oh no, man, it's no problem. I'm just glad to have you back here today.
Yeah, thanks for giving us this opportunity.
I was just mentioning a few things to the community, telling them to welcome you back and everything. It's going to be a really exciting time because things have changed in the week since we last talked to you. So
Yeah, 100%. Things have changed significantly for the better, by the way.
You know what, and that's awesome. Obviously, you wouldn't be back here with a big smile on your face. You'd be back there working, trying to get everything going on if there was an issue. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, I'll just give a small introduction to have you guys back. And basically, guys, we have Liquid Crypto. They were with us during the early times of their marketing. They were doing the IDO, preparing all of everything for the mainnet launch, which happened, I believe, 2 days ago on the 19th, and now it's the 21st. So it's just really exciting that they've come back and they're going to be talking to us about all the achievements and milestones that led up to the launch. So like we told before, Liquid Crypto is not just the regular financial system you see out there. It's actually a paradigm shift. It offering deep liquidity, a secure free bridge, AI powered token swap, just literally an innovation of tools all in your hands. And it's just really excited to have them back to really just touch on the heartbeat of what's been going on, and kind of what they've learned, over the last week building up to the launch, and then what they've happened after launch. So without further ado, obviously you don't need to do a huge introduction. We should know you, but just give us, a fair, just kind of an overview of what's been going on in the project and
Yeah,
you and yourself, everything as
100%.
we kind of just open it up.
Yeah, 100%. So this shouldn't take too long, I don't think. But what I first want to say is thank you again for having us. I really appreciate it. You guys have been wonderful in supporting us. I just want to let you guys know that on Tuesday at 9 o'clock UTC time, which is, if you're a bit older like me, that's London time. We had our actual launch itself. We launched on our on Pancake Swap and our own decks as well. So, and we're also on CoinGecko and Dex Tools and all those other types of wonderful places where you can find information about us now. So we're completely live. The IDO price was 6.5 cents. I think last time I spoke to you guys, I promised you guys that we would drive it, well, not ourselves, but the price should go up to about 10 cents, maybe even higher. It did reach a peak of 12 cents, and then it settled down around about the 10.5 cents, which is what it still remains now. And the price has not shifted below. I don't think it shifted below 10 cents. So if you guys were able to get into any of the earlier rounds, especially the IDO rounds through our launch pads, or the public community rounds, you've done extremely well. You've basically done around about 2 to 3 times the amount of money in which you may have invested. That being said, there's absolutely more opportunity for all of you. More opportunity for you guys to participate. That basically means that from a pricing perspective, I wanted to let you guys know that we may have some major announcements next week, including a centralized exchange launch, which will help bump the price. But that centralized exchange launch is a very, very special one. It's only in Vietnam because we have a partner in Vietnam for their own community and so forth. And then in around about 2 weeks after that, we have another centralized exchange coming on. And 2 weeks after that, another centralized exchange coming on. On all 3 occasions, you're going to see a bump in price. We're hoping that it could be up to around about the 20, 30, 40 cent mark, which will give us a multiplier of around about, I think around about 7 or 8 times. But that's just, some of the predictions that people have made to us. So we're very excited about that. So that's just some of the information around our launch itself. Okay.
I tell you what, man, there's a good reason. There's a good reason to be excited about that. I just wanted to butt in real quick and just say,
Sure.
kudos to the hard work, you and the team, and also everybody over there, helping you out in the background with the IDO and just everything you guys have been doing. I say it's really set the standard to, when you guys were calling it out, you were kind of predicting it almost on the grounds that you had faith, from there on, that it was going to be like that. So it's just really good to see the execution go, flawlessly. Obviously, there's going to be some small retraction, but to still be way ahead of your launch price is awesome. It really shows, the commitment, like I was saying, by the team, but it also shows the support that you have by the investors and what they see in you guys. Obviously, I remember us talking, about what set the standards that you guys had differently from other projects, and I really believe the kind of the governmental support you have, but keeping it really on a decentralized level is really what helped kind of bring that true support, by people that really, that they're kind of iffy about things in the bear market. Well, they were like, well, obviously if big money and big companies and big government is betting, there's a good chance. So I remember hearing a lot about that and reading about that after we talked, and it's just really exciting to see, in this time in this market, still seeing really great teams doing really great work for their community, and obviously holding that price and the focus that you're doing. Obviously, it's talking about the centralized exchange listing and how you've roadmapped that over the next few weeks is obviously awesome. So it's a little bit of alpha that if there are people here early, obviously you don't want to miss out on your chance. But do your research, check out what the team's doing. Obviously, they haven't let down their IDO partners, and I will tell you what, IDO track records or any of those early track records lately have not been the greatest. And to be able to do that, obviously, it's just an achievement that I want to highlight overall. So good job overall in your launch. I'm excited, to really deep dive into what you have coming up in products and everything. But just kind of, letting us know about all that. It's really exciting. And, people should definitely take that, as a good highlight of what you guys have been doing and building.
Yep, I'm just talking to my business partner right now because I've got a surprise for you guys in 1 second. Now, also, I just wanted to say that don't forget our products, right? So now that we've done our launch, we're going to go through and we're going to deliver our products as promised. You already have swaps, you already have bridges, you always have aggregation pools like we talked about. There's a learning platform coming. But just remember, like in about a week's time, we're going to have free bridging. Tell all your friends, repost, whatever you need to do. We're going to have free bridging on 5 specific chains. It's going to save everyone in the crypto community a lot of money. So I think that's worthwhile for you guys to go out there and do it. All right, help our platform out and so forth. And remember, centralized exchanges. And also remember, We've got free bridging coming. The platform is already running. We're going to add more and more chains, more and more projects on those chains. And over the time, you'll see that we'll have a complete product that not only we would be proud of, but as a community, and I consider myself part of your community, as a community, we could be, proud of that, very, very proud of that. And we can all get involved in some way.
I think that's huge. I think token bridging is one of the things that it's expensive. It really is a huge burden to already have to deal with gas fees on everything you do, and then on top of that, you're like, oh, I don't want to miss this play, so I better bridge some tokens, and then you get hit, between the $25 to $80 fee in the end, depending on what you're moving, and I think it's going to highlight the value that you're, the ecosystem, obviously, that you're bringing. You're going to give this free utility, but it's also a huge value utility. To touch on, you said there's going to be 5 chains available. What are those chains, just so that we can highlight those now and people can really, start to get into it?
Currently, we're on the Binance Smart Chain. There'll be JFIN chain for anyone that's from Thailand. I'm actually originally from Thailand, but anyone from Thailand, JFIN, you'll know about JFIN. Their chain is exclusive to us. So in other words, we're the only DEX listing for JFIN chain from Thailand, right? And they're not moving that to anyone else. We're the only one. We'll be the exclusive bridging partner for owners in Vietnam. We also have currently Avalanche or AVAX, and we've also got Ethereum. There'll be 18 chains added on over the next 2 months with a whole bunch of tokens, a whole bunch of liquidity pools and so forth. If you don't believe me, we have very fast. We're not like other swaps or other sites or other DEXs. We have very fast response times for customer service. We actually try to get back within a few hours, but sometimes because of the time zone differences, it takes us a bit longer. But you will always get an answer from us. You will always let us know what the situation is and what the issues are. Have I lost you? Oh, no, I thought I lost you.
No, you're here.
Yeah, and
I think that that's an extra testament to what you've built. I remember I was talking to you. You literally highlighted that last time we were talking, that regardless of it, you come in, you got a question, come and use our support. There's always going to be someone to take care of it. And even that, you personally, if no one can take care of it within your support, you would go and help tackle that. And I think that that's also an extra proven fact that you have had such high support, obviously since launch, and in the growing factor, because I know when I have a pain and I try to reach out, if it takes 2 days, by the time I forget about it, I moved on by then. So someone that's hit me back within a few hours, that's a huge improvement in this space. So definitely 100% agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, so that's basically where we're at right now. Just keep an eye on it. If you can, join our socials if you want to. That's up to you guys. If you can support us, because when you support us, we're able to deliver more and more things, and we want you guys to be part of the actual community as well. And buy a couple of tokens, buy $2, buy $3. It doesn't matter what you buy. It's up to you guys, whatever your budgets are and so forth. But I can tell you one thing though, it's been a day and a half. It's not falling apart. It will keep on going up, and it will keep on, and you guys will keep on, how would you put it? Sharing the experience with us, because it's all about the experience with us. We want to build a community of people, of like-minded people. We don't want to get cheated. We want to make sure that we do the right thing by everybody.
I agree. It's definitely an ecosystem, right? You've got to build a good product, but you also have to have a strong team, a strong foundation, behind the product. But then regardless of how strong your product is and how great the team is, if you don't have a great community sentiment, who's utilizing it, right? So I definitely agree with, that you definitely have a strong footing so far. The growth has been phenomenal since launch. Like you're saying, it ain't falling apart, and obviously it seems like you're scaling and growing. Look, you're here, you're showcasing the product again, telling people, obviously you don't want to miss your chance before bigger and better things are coming, right? Big things are coming. The 2024 just seems to be really an exciting time with all the news. I know that crypto has been moving a lot right now, and I've been saying this lately, and I kind of preach this. I think that I might preach it too much, but I think it's something that has helped me make it in crypto. And I got to tell everybody here, my community members, from devs all the way down, to us degens. We've all started somewhere. We were all in the beginning here, and I remember a few mentors told me it was like you can have a great product and you can have a community, but if the team behind it's not there, then it doesn't have legs. And then after a while, I kind of understood that. And then so I always went in and I always looked at what kind of team was behind it, what kind of transparency there was behind it, and really the work they had from prior to it and leading up to it and the work they've done after. And obviously you guys have really been pushing it. You're here back again marketing with us, showcasing everything, and you've really lived up to the name, I believe, that you've been trying to push. So I
Yeah,
always try to kind
appreciate
of
that.
I promote that. I promote the team. Always look at how strong the team is behind the product. Because if you have a strong team behind the product, they're going to push it until their fingers are bleeding, until their eyes are bleeding, until they can't stay awake anymore, and then there's nothing else they can do.
That's right.
And that's the fighters you want in crypto. So I definitely love the
That's it.
sentiment you've really pushed. So
Thank you very much.
yeah,
So that's basically all the update that I wanted to have for you guys. And I wanted to shout out Israel as well. I just saw her pop up. She's in your community. She's actually one of our NFT partners, and I dearly love her. So want to give her a shout out. We also gonna do a couple of cross AMAs and so forth, hopefully with your team in the future as well. I'd like to be back in, around about the middle of next month just to announce some of the centralized listings that we've got going to push it even further. So, please keep us in mind, right? And before we put it out to questions, I just spoke to my business partner. For this session here, we would like to give you guys 3,000 liquid crypto tokens for your community to hand out whichever way you guys want to actually do that. So you guys work out how not you guys, but crypto miners themselves will work out how to do that. But we'd like to give you guys 3,000 of our tokens, and they're worth, at about 10.5, 11 cents right now, and it's still going up. So please, you guys can do you guys can decide how you want to distribute that, or who you want to distribute it to, whether it be prize and so forth, but we'd like to send you guys that.
oh, definitely. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Now, that's very awesome. I definitely me and my team will definitely think of something that we can do to
Yeah, sure.
reward our community. But really, ultimately, I want to do whatever we can to kind of just bring more highlight to it. So that definitely would be cool to be able to hand out some of the tokens. And then as you are listing on these exchanges, I know that they always do trading competitions and other really cool stuff that you always have lined up for investors. So
We
maybe
do.
that's something that we can work on getting timed over this next week or two so
Yeah,
that we can drive as much exposure as we can to it. So we'll definitely
100%.
be in talks. Obviously you guys are no strangers here. Obviously you've been back, and there's a good reason why, and the community loves you guys. And so that's obviously another thing. Community here should definitely be giving out the hearts right now, showing the love that you're handing us a bunch of tokens to be able to give to the community. So I really do appreciate it. And my community, I'm sure, are going to be excited about whatever campaign we set
Yeah.
up behind it. So,
Yeah, your
well,
call, whichever way you want.
yeah. Obviously, I'll talk to some of my guys in there in the admins, and they'll figure
Yeah.
something out, good
Can
about
I
it.
do a
Obviously.
shameless can I do a shameless plug?
Well, obviously, this is your time, buddy. I'm here just to talk. What I like about teams that come back on. Obviously, we talked about 90% of the products and the meat of the utilities before. So coming back on, it's like we don't want to feel like we're beating the horse. So I always try to make it feel more like of a podcast where you're just a friend
No.
coming on and we're just talking about an update of what's been going on in our life.
Yeah,
And obviously
100%.
it's been a week and it's probably been crazy for you. So it's not like you didn't have the updates, and you did. It was a really good update. So obviously, if you have a shameless plug or anything you want to talk about, regardless of it, I'm always willing, to open ears and banter about
Cool.
anything.
My shameless plug is you can also go direct to our website, liquidcrypto.finance, and you can click on the buy and sell button as well if you want to buy our token. It's a very easy process. Or if you want to use our app, our app itself, just go and click the launch app button and you can do your swaps, your trades, and all the stuff there. It's very low cost. We're all about making it fair for everybody. And that's basically my shameless plug. Very easy one.
Right. Obviously, if you want to get in, and I know that definitely a lot of people are seeing the big value right now across the globe. I will say that I like your guys' approach. I will say it's more of a coordinated attack. Obviously, you have partners and stuff, so it aligns a lot with that. But Vietnam is a massive growing ecosystem of open regulation for developers and for other builders coming into the ecosystem. So I love the fact that you guys are building in Vietnam, and kind of keeping a little bit more of a global approach by attacking some of those focused areas. Because I personally, I've actually been looking and researching projects out of Vietnam lately. So it's just crazy how a lot of things align that way.
Yeah, exactly. Vietnam's a massive space for us, and like Thailand as well. And we've got Red Belly from Australia coming on as well. They're actually a regulated chain, which is very interesting as well. Many projects coming on. Again, if you guys have a project you want to talk about, approach us through crypto miners. You know what I mean? Just contact them. They'll get the details out to us, and we can have a chat. Work out a deal between us. But basically, that's my shameless plug. So you know what? If there's anyone with any questions, I suppose that's probably a good way to go. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, if you want to move into some of the questions, what I'll do is
Yeah, sure.
I tell people right now, if you have a question, put your hands up. I'll grab a random here, and then while they're live asking the question, I'll just scroll through some of the comments, because we went from like 9 to 36. So I'm sure that we got some in there I can kind of scroll through, and we can just kind of keep the flow going.
Sure.
So let's try. There's actually a lot of names that popped up real quick. So let's try Silent Killer. Get some good questions up here, guys.
Okay. Do you want to sing it out? I can't see the questions.
Then there's going to be one coming up right there. Alita, go ahead with your question. It's a live question, and then I'm going to scroll through and I'll start looking for some. Go ahead, buddy, whenever you're ready.
Hey, Alita, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very good, thanks.
My question, user experience is a very important issue. Is most project.
Yes.
Do you project focus on this? What have you done to bring the best user experience, especially to new user?
Mate,
That's it.
Mate, I love that question, I really do, because I know you guys don't know me from, a bar of soap or a brick, but I'm a bit older. My business partner is a bit older and uglier. And my other and the people that I run with are not crypto people. We got into this business because we're useless when it comes to crypto. So our whole user experience is based around making it easy. It is so much easier to use our platform than anyone else's. You don't have to come with a token, and you don't have to split it in half or whack it into a liquidity pool to get APY. You don't have to think about going to 13,000 different sites, working out what's got the best prices. You're not going to be cheated, because at the end of the day, it tells you what's going to cost you to actually make a swap or a bridge, even buying and selling our token. Just launch it, whack up the value, and it calculates what it is, and you connect your wallet, and then all of a sudden you're off and gone. So that's how easy it is. So I appreciate that question. And yes, user experience is one of the focuses of our business.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alita. Appreciate your question.
Yeah, no, that was actually a really good question. I'm still actually reading through a lot of the questions in the comments, and I actually got one that I should have might have touched on, but I obviously there's so much you try to unpack in a project, but it's obviously defining user experience is obviously an important aspect, and when utilizing your DEX, the liquid crypto DEX itself, providing liquidity and or staking and or to getting your rewards, is it as seamless and painless as other platforms, or have you guys took an innovative approach to kind of make it a little different?
Yeah, it's basically they say that necessity is the mother of all inventions, and basically we ourselves found it very difficult to use crypto. There were so many different scams, frauds, and everything else. It's so difficult to understand. you guys have just got to go to our site, liquidcrypto.finance, and basically just take a look around. That's all you got to do. If you don't want to, if you feel unsafe, don't connect your wallet. Just take a look at it, right? If you feel like it's a bit safe and you want to try a transaction or whatever, do $1, do 50 cents, see what it's like. I'm sure that you'll be surprised because it's not like any other platform.
I agree, and I like that how you even said don't connect your wallet. You know, I even would say if you want to really utilize the ecosystem, but you are unsure, and like you said, what I always did is I always just started a new wallet real quick and just sent a little bit of money, you know, that I was going to utilize anyways, and I'm comfortable losing it, even if it was an unsafe site, and just go from there. And then as you feel more comfortable, then you can start utilizing your other trade wallets that you utilize for your common trades with. But you know, I always say the best way to understand a platform is to use it. That was just one of the little quick questions. A lot of the other ones we kind of covered, so I just wanted to kind of cover something that I kind of didn't ask the first time we talked, and it's something that I will say for the average user, staking is what they only know. They're like when they go to do liquidity providing, they actually get lost a lot of times. And as of lately, I know that when V3 came out on the common dexes, if you were providing on the wrong version, it would fail, it'd waste your gas, and it'd just be a big headache in the end. A lot of people don't even provide liquidity. So I was just kind of an open question of some of the pains that you guys might have seen in the kind of industry. And I think that, you know, it is something, obviously, if you guys have not having to deal with all those extra V2s, V3s, and you guys handled it by making it more seamless, is you know, kind of something that I believe that it's best by just going in and testing it and checking it out yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
So let me get another question up here. That was a good question. Thank you, Alita. I appreciate it. And it's funny because when I was listening to the question, I wasn't focused on reading as much. So good questions are like that, though. All right, I'm going to get Trippy Sniper. Go ahead whenever you're ready, or whenever it actually allows you to unmute, and go ahead with your question. I really do appreciate the engagement, guys. We got a lot of comments coming in, and there's a huge amount of hands requested, so really do appreciate it. Whenever you are ready, Sniper, Trippy Sniper, I believe, is who I unmuted.
Sniper, wow.
Yeah, it's definitely a funny name. It's funny, I've approved him like 3 times now, and
guys are very creative, by the way.
Right, I always definitely put a hands down to my community. They always have some interesting questions. I remember when I was asking questions before, I could never answer or ask really good questions. I always, how's the marketing going? It's just like that's so redundant, and I'm tired of hearing it, and so are most teams. So it's really good to have ones that really dig deep into the white papers and try to really figure out good questions to ask. So this time I unmuted Wise. Yeah, let's hope it actually works. Whenever you're ready, ask your question, buddy.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, how are you? All right?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to ask a question. So I just wanted to know in respect to, other dexes that have been available. So I just wanted to know, how do you plan on handling liquidity on your exchange, your platform?
Yeah, that's a very good question as well, actually. So basically, we handle liquidity 2 ways, and you've got to be very, very careful about how you use this, right, Wise? So first and foremost, we aggregate dexes. So on the Binance Smart Chain, we have 12 different dexes, including our own. So it makes it 13 dexes. If we don't have enough liquidity, we will use the dex. We will use a combination of those dexes, right, to find the best rate available. So you're always going to have liquidity. But I please beg you to make sure that you check, right, on your MetaMask or on the fee side of things before you make that transaction. That's not just for our platform, that's for every platform that you do. Because you don't want to be front run and you don't want to be having too much slippage, right? That's from a swap perspective. The great thing about the bridge, we don't require liquidity. And the reason being is because we're using our actual token as a proxy, which basically means that we will do the bridge for you using our own token. And because we control our own token, we can do the bridge for you in the different chains. That's why we have multiple chains and the talk about making bridge free between the different chains. That's how we provide the liquidity in that regard. We've come up with a name for it. It's industry changing, and I promise you that. And it's called a private decentralized bridge. Reason being, it's our own bridge. We don't need external liquidity. It's decentralized because all transactions are recorded on the blockchain. And of course, it's a bridge. So that's the reason why I've called it that. And if you guys come up with a better name for me one day, I might change it to that, because we've come up with some imaginative names like Liquid Plus and Bridge Plus and all this other stuff. Anyway, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely does. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Wise.
Yeah, awesome, guys. I love the engagement. Good questions all around. So let's get another one live up here. I'm gonna go with someone I haven't seen yet. So it's Azo. I don't even want to say it. It's Az. There you go. Whenever you get approval, go ahead and start your question up. It sounds like I got a frog or something in my throat, so I need to mute and cough really big. 1 second.
Hello, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
loud
can
and
you
clear.
just fine, thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to know more details in terms of vetting DEX, and how do you guys ensure that reliable DEX contribute to the liquidity pools?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So it's a bit of a technical question. I'm going to try to answer it the best I can. We again are very transparent, right? So I am technical, but I'm not that technical. The question I think you're asking, if I may understand a bit further, is that you're talking about how reliable is the actual liquidity within the actual swap environment or liquidity pools. That's the first bit that I want to know about. What specifically you're talking about? They are related, but not exactly the same. As?
Oh, you want me to come again or
I wanted
something?
to ask you.
Okay.
No, I wanted to ask you, the question itself is a bit unclear, because you're talking about DX liquidity, right? But I want to know, are you talking about from a liquidity pool perspective, or from a swap perspective, or from a bridge perspective?
I think the liquidity pool perspective. Liquidity pool perspective.
Yeah, okay. So this is a difficult question to answer, because again, we aggregate many DEXs within our own platform. We will never ever put a pool on the actual platform that we see or consider suspicious. Okay, there are a lot of very suspicious type pools out there, so you got to be very careful. But from a liquidity perspective, if we use a partner's liquidity pool, it is up to them to manage, and it will tell you on our platform which partner it is. That's how transparent we are. We're not trying to hide anything from you. If it's our own liquidity pool, you'll see that it's a crypto liquidity pool. It tells you what the actual pool and who owns it is, right? And if you click on the actual liquidity pool, it will tell you how much liquidity is in it. All right. And just to give you guys a bit of a guideline, okay, just because it's $100,000 in liquidity pool doesn't mean that you have $100,000 to swap. Okay, so basically normally means that it's around about 20 to 25%, because it doesn't really, liquidity pools these days are very smart. They're all based upon Uniswap version 3, and Uniswap version 3 uses what's known as a constant algorithm. We take that algorithm and we customize it for our requirements, but it also does a thing called automatic market making for you as well, which basically means that when one side is bigger than the other, it doesn't really rebalance it. What it really does is it changes the actual ratios, and that's how you get price movement. So to answer your question, in regards to the liquidity side of things, there's more available liquidity on our platform than most. Put it that way. Okay.
Oh, that's
Yes?
nice. That's a really nice answer. Most
Thanks, mate.
platforms are not upfront with and the DX that come to supply the liquidity pool are not really reliable. So that's a good answer. Thank you so much.
You're 100% correct. I'm glad you actually pointed that out, right? There's been a lot of instances of people coming along, putting into money to liquidity pool and then removing it, without notice and so forth. A lot of actual different DEXs have collapsed because of that very reason. So again, we aggregate. There's a lot of liquidity, but just please be careful. And you know what? If you want to, the way I do it, honestly, is I actually do a lot of liquidity pool transactions and a lot of swaps and a lot of bridges. I never go all in. I never, ever do, because I know what it's like. You know what I mean? So just be careful, and you do the amount that you're comfortable with, and always, always check the slippage and always check the fees that are being charged. It's very important.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Az. Cheers, mate.
Awesome answers, awesome question, man. I really do appreciate it. And I actually have a question myself. Because you do bring some things that are, I would say, different to the ecosystem, but all obviously have a huge amount of value, because you guys obviously seen something here that obviously I didn't see it in the need in the space, or that it necessarily didn't have a need in space. I just was unaware of the value it really was there, and that's the way you have your basket set up. And can you maybe touch a little bit on that, so that people here kind of get an understanding on really what you mean and how to take the value out of it, because I think that might be another way people can utilize, I believe, some of their own holdings that are just chilling in their wallet.
Yeah, I'm a bit embarrassed about my baskets right now, partly because I was supposed to have it all ready and so forth by launch, but because we just got so inundated with it, it became a bit of an issue in getting it ready. In fact, I forgot about it until you just mentioned it then. So let me explain to you guys basket, right?
You know what? Hold on. I need to cut you off there, because I would clap if it really made sense over Twitter. But that right there is a testament to the transparency and the real value you come from a team. Honest answers right from the get-go. I had so much going on. I needed to prepare the platform. I needed everything to be oiled before I just start launching stuff before it's ready. Because I always say it's better to delay for the proper ready than to try making it come out just because you said this or that at the time. If you have strong community and a really good platform, they'll understand. So I really do love that answer just right off the bat right there. But go ahead, let's touch on it a little bit.
Let's touch on it 100%. So there are 5 baskets on there right now. We actually put it up there, tested, everything works beautifully and so forth. But what I'm embarrassed about is because I actually haven't gone back there and rejig the contents of those baskets. Let me explain to you what that is, right? So a basket can include liquidity pools from an APY perspective, so you get a return on it. It could also include your favorite tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it is that you want to put into it. And it also includes asset tokenization, which is coming through our partners at the end of January through Red Belly, all right? What that basically means is this. You as an individual, everyone here, once it's properly launched, can go and create a basket, can whack whatever you believe that you want to hold and you think that can make money out of it. And the beautiful thing is you can then invite your friends, your family, your community, a whole bunch of people to it. They will get the return on the basket that it's paying. In other words, they will get any increases in terms of the token, because we don't want to touch that money, all right, because it's theirs. But you will also get a return on all the APYs, the return on investments on when you provide liquidity, okay? Now, here's the big thing for you guys and everyone. It's going to open up to the whole community. We give 90% back to the people that provide liquidity and that own the basket, because that's theirs, you know what I mean? But we also charge a 10% platform fee, right? So when we charge a 10% platform fee, guess what we do? We give you guys back 5% because that's your basket. You created it, right? And we keep 5% to run the actual platform and operations and so forth. Now, you know what that means? We're not stupid. We know that, there's a lot of you guys out there that are a lot smarter than we are, that, do your research and so forth. You guys can come up with, it's trust in people. That's what I do, right? You guys can come up with some amazing combinations of portfolios and so forth, right? And then you guys actually can share in it. You know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing. You guys can share your understanding, share your research, make something special that people can also get involved in, and also share in the platform rewards, which is fantastic. By the way, no lock-in. You want to add something to a basket? You want to remove it? Remove it. Your call. You know what I mean? We don't lock nothing in. We're not like a centralized exchange. We're not like the other types of, staking platforms and so forth. Sure money, mate. You want to put it in there? You want to take it out? Your call.
That's awesome. I love it. That's a great little overview on it. Obviously, yeah, like you said, it's out, it's functioning, it's been tested, it's running. Obviously, more analytics, more users coming in and testing the platform that they have available is going to just allow them to expand it faster and better over time. And so that's huge. And I love the tokenization touch. I think that's a huge I wouldn't just say trend in the movement, but I would say trend in the technology that's coming out, because tokenization is a huge value proposition across the board. And a lot of people are hung up on, it being a real estate bound thing, but it's actually much more than that. And people are just now starting to scratch on the surface. So I think that's going to be huge coming into the new year. And I actually wanted to touch on another thing that, obviously the swaps on most platforms are just individualized, and they're just a swap. Everybody knows what a swap is, but you guys are utilizing a whole different approach and kind of having that AI attached to it.
We do.
What benefits have you noticed over the last day and a half since launch for your user bases? Overall, with
So
the AI,
number one,
has it really been? Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
it's been pretty good. So number one, we get a list every single day of pools which we can either add or remove um, based upon analyzing the data coming from DeFi Llama and a couple of those liquidity pool DEX type scenario, the listing sites. That's the first thing. The second thing is though, we actually haven't released that yet. We're actually planning on releasing it around about February. The reason being is because we want to release our products slowly so that we get the exposure each time. If you release everything at one time, you don't get the same exposure because everyone just goes there. Then, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get the ability to announce and re-announce and keep us in the forefront of people's minds. So in February, we have an AI product coming out on our liquidity pools. And what that basically means is this: you want to go into a pool, you check the artificial intelligence box that you want to do. You put your liquidity in, you set your criteria, maybe based on return, maybe based on chain, token, APY, TVL, whatever you want to base it upon, right? And then if it doesn't meet that criteria, it will remove that liquidity that you put in and find another liquidity pool that meets that criteria automatically for you. And you can decide if you want to do that or remove it and put it into a stable coin, or remove it and put it into a stable coin pool. We've given the third option because although stable coin pools provide a terrible return, they still provide a return. You know what I mean? You may only be around about 1 or 2%, but it's still better than just sitting there doing nothing for you. Now, the way we're going to roll this out is the first, how would you put it, incarnation of the actual AI product is that we intend to create a pool, like a fund. It's actually a smart contract, right? And it'll be limited to $100,000. And whoever comes in first in, first serve, right? They will then be able to, we will then be able to use that fund. You can take it at any time, by the way. It's not locked in. You can take that, we will take that fund and apply our AI product to it. And then we'll choose on your behalf the pools to put into initially. And then you'll just see it working magically. And I'm actually prepared to share the smart contract with you so you guys can see what happens behind the scenes. And also, obviously, like, you guys will be able to experience it firsthand initially without having to select your own pools to start with. The reason why we're doing it that way initially...
That's exciting. That's exciting.
It is. And the reason why we're doing that initially is if you've ever done DeFi mining, if you've ever done, staking and so forth, it's an absolute, I'm going to swear here, shit fight. Because you don't know which pool from which DEX, from which place, from which centralized exchange is doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and they're doing the right thing with your money and so forth. So that should be a game changer in itself. But remember, our first game changer is bridges. I always come back to bridges because that's a big thing. Okay?
I agree. And I definitely was actually going to retouch on that and remind people. So I'm glad you brought that up. The free bridge utility is going to be huge. And obviously, there's a lot of things that people do right now in crypto that they believe is kind of the way. But when you look at it, it slows down, the adoption and the scalability of the ecosystem. And I believe, having a highly valued, fast and efficient bridge, and obviously offering it for free is going to be huge. I think that's going to be a great, at least for scalability and adoption on your platform. Just overall, yeah, I love that. So I'm going to bring up another
Question.
random question up here to us, but I definitely like you guys' approach to that. AI, I think, is not, like I'll say, not only just a trend, but it's a technology that is growing and I think it's going to be here for a long time. And as it scales and continues to become more valuable and teams utilize it correctly, to help, because I know my issue with the volatility with LP is by the time I'm not looking at it, that's when stuff happens. And having an AI be able to really not only kind of predict, but be able to instantaneously react to the market volatility, so that either you have a lot less of a loss or you catch and capitalize those opportunities that you would normally miss because you're either asleep, go and have lunch, just whatever you're doing at that time. AI never sleeps and AI doesn't take lunch. So definitely love
Can
that.
I just can I just add one thing about like liquidity pools as well? I've noticed that I've now done like many AMAs, and I've also done sessions privately with people to help them out and so forth. If you're not aware, and I want to explain this because I can explain it in a very simple way these days. If you are not aware what a liquidity pool is, the whole idea of a liquidity pool is to provide the ability for people to swap between tokens. Just keep that in mind. And I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm going to use the Thailand example because I go to Thailand quite often, right? If you are from Australia, which is where I am, and I go to Thailand, I bring my Australian dollar to a money exchange when I get off the plane, right? And what actually happens is they give me Thai baht in exchange for whatever I want to swap. Now, the people that run that exchange, that money exchange, the currency exchange, right, would have to have a pool of money that they basically provide the ability to exchange one currency for another. That's what a liquidity pool pairing is exactly like. All right. The fees you pay, I know they're liars, by the way, all those currency exchanges, they say no fees. What they do is they build in the fee by building in a spread, which is basically, a fee that they've built into the actual exchange itself, right? We don't do that. We don't build a fee into the spread. What we do is we just charge you a flat rate. And the flat rate depends upon the actual token itself, but it ranges from 0.1 up to 1%. Primarily, that 1% is up to the chain that we provide our services to charge. But I can tell you categorically that 99% of those swaps will be around about the 0.1 to 0.3%. Okay? So just keep that in mind. And I only want to explain that to you because not everyone understands what a liquidity pool's function is. And a lot of people out there, honestly, I've met a lot of fraudsters out there that try to say, well, if you put your money here, I can guarantee you this, I guarantee that. They can't guarantee nothing. And the reason being is because the only money generated from those actual liquidity pools is the transaction fees that are generated in the actual swap itself. Okay? Just keep that in mind.
I love it. That's obviously education is huge. So anybody here that didn't know, a little touch on that was huge value right there for you. And then that just shows the wealth of knowledge you guys that it shows from the team here. Obviously, if your questions aren't answered today, please join their socials, take the time, go in there, learn about what they're building, be a part of the ecosystem, support, the liquid crypto and kind of the way they're changing the way DeFi is. Obviously giving you a huge amount of value at either the lowest cost or free. I mean, he's literally just throwing it all out there for you and obviously saying, I'm working on even more. So it's going to be huge. Obviously, like I would say, Rome wasn't built in a day, neither is any other great product is going to be built in a day. So if you really do see value in what they already have brought and what they're bringing to the table, stay up to date with them, join their Twitter, turn those notifications on. Obviously they have a packed schedule already lined up over the next couple of weeks with all their marketing lined up with centralized exchange, huge campaigns, obviously dumping extra tokens for us to give to you guys. That just shows all of the hard work they're doing and they're pushing. So I love it. So like I was saying, let me get to another question up real quick. Oh no, there's nothing to be thanked. Thank you. Obviously, there's a tons of hands up here. And they all want to ask questions. So let me get let's try June. June, go ahead with your question whenever it allows you to. And maybe we'll maybe wrap it up after this one, or if it's quick, we'll get another one. It all depends on obviously the question. Go ahead, June, whenever you're ready.
June, you better not ask the same question you asked in the other chat, right? Make it good.
Yeah, look at that.
June's everywhere, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good morning. All I just want to know is what inspired the name Liquid Crypto.
Well, one of the co-founders is actually he spends half his time surfing and carrying on in the water. And because we provide liquidity not into other chains and other projects and so forth, we just decided to call it Liquid Crypto. And I'm going to give you one advice, guys, right? Don't ever call your name if you have a project anything crypto, because the banking system around the world will ban you. We're just lucky that we're regulated here in Australia, but I'm just letting you know, don't ever call yourself anything crypto. Make a different name. It's been a nightmare for us.
Yeah, 100% agree. When I told my friends about what I do for a living, they were like, "Wait, that Ponzi scheme stuff?" I'm like, "Obviously, it's not a Ponzi scheme stuff. If it's been around for over 13 years, you just now are finding out that a lot of people, create value in this world." But yeah, no, it's funny. And anytime I say crypto, so I try to stay away from crypto term. I literally use Web3. I use blockchain. Distributed ledger technology. I literally use all of these other really inept technology terms for people to grasp, because if I say crypto, they just run. It's so funny. So I definitely agree there, especially the banking financial world. They, in a way, it's a technology that it's moving too fast for them. I believe so. It's like the dinosaurs trying to catch up with the new age. So. And I definitely like that approach. And June, love the question. I wanted to comment on that. I think that touching on where the branding was kind of came into a vision is also something that is a good takeaway for people to understand and know. But that was a quick, simple question, so I don't mind getting another one up. I know sometimes June will answer or ask a simple one or a long one. Some of these community members will have a long 2 or 3 part one. So. Let's try King. I tried to get him up on my last one and I couldn't. So let's try him this time. Let's see if it's going to work for you. Go ahead, King. I'm approving you whenever you're ready.
I'm just cleaning up my laptop while you guys are doing that.
You're good, bud.
Yeah, hello, guys.
I have to prove something like 10 times. Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you for bringing me up to ask my question. My question to Liquid Crypto is, can you discuss a little about your business model? Like how you tend to generate revenue to keep the project going? Do you depend on the investors or you have a budget set aside for it?
We are, how would you put it? Old enough and wise enough with enough experience to understand that runway is extremely important. We're extremely well funded because we've not only used our own money, but we've also raised money as well. We're not like any other crypto project where we think, oh yeah, let's just like raise money and use it frivolously. We've basically raised the money, we've put in our own money, and we also now are income generating. We actually get around currently we get about 600 to 700 new wallet connections every single day, mate. And those transactions are coming through. So I'm very proud of that. That's how we manage. That's how we're actually managing to operate a business.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. However, how do you like the transaction fees? What are the measures you have put in place to make sure that you make your transaction fees fair for the users.
Yeah, so you can't beat free, King. That's pretty fair in my opinion when it comes to bridging. Right, that's the first thing. The second thing is, of course, we're a business, so we need to generate incomes, and part of generating incomes is to be in line with the lowest market fees when it comes to actually swaps. We generate our income through swaps, and we also generate incomes through a share of the APYs. And of course, we've got a token. As the token increases, we're then able to liquidate some of those tokens and use that within our business to grow our business. So, yeah.
Okay,
And any
thank you.
donations.
That was an
And King,
awesome answer.
King,
Thank you very much. Yes.
King. And we also
Yeah.
accept any donations from anybody.
Yeah. Of course,
Okay,
of
brother?
course. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm with you, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right, no, that was awesome. Sorry, I could not unmute. No, I appreciate it, King. I tried to get you up, I believe, the other day, so and there was an issue. So I'm definitely glad that I was able to bring you up and see you
That's cool.
here at this one. I really do appreciate
Thanks.
it. You know what? Liquid crypto. I gotta say this. You guys have really impressed me. This is twice you guys are coming back now, and I really enjoyed having you here. Like the conversation with you has been much different. It's much more like really good vibe. Kind of that back and forth, and really kind of understanding what you guys have been talking about. But then your answers are really awesome, transparent, honest,
Thank you.
really just humble. It's a humble having somebody as honest as at least that's how it feels. And I know that that's how you're conveying and that's how your personality is because I can feel the vibes, coming from you. So I
Appreciate it.
definitely appreciate. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely. So I definitely want to appreciate that transparent answers to the community. I just want to hands down put that there. So, obviously, this was a great time. We're almost about an hour into it.
Yeah.
For my last minute kind of call to action, I always tell my community, please don't waste the time on a great team. Or by not joining a great team. Don't waste the time by not joining the socials and keeping yourself up to date on what they're doing. Obviously, this is not your average DEX. This is something they're bringing much more value to it, and they're bringing value to the parts that I think that are lacking, obviously, in the space here. And obviously, having a functioning bridge that they're going to be giving it to you for free is huge. So if you're that person that is constantly changing between chains, go check them out, do your research, read their white papers. And if you didn't get your questions answered today, which you should have, because this was a plethora of information and even stuff that we didn't touch on last time, so which is really cool. Go jump into their socials and ask questions, and they have a really cool live support system. So obviously, the team is real transparent and there to make sure that you have a great time and understand the platform much more in depth than we can't help you out non-financial advice. No, they understand that we're all here to try understanding the ecosystem and learning. So nothing's a financial advice, but at least you can get answers to your questions in a fast, efficient way. So I definitely appreciate that. But that being said, if you have any last call to action or anything you want to say, anything
I
we
just
might
want
have.
to. My last call to action is I want all of you guys to have a really Merry Christmas, a fantastic New Year. I hope that everything that you wish and hope for yourselves and your families come to reality. And, stay safe over the Christmas period because people sometimes get a bit carried away with the silly season. And I appreciate everything that you guys have done to support us. And I hope to see you guys in the new year. Okay?
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, it looks like I'm having some issues here, so I hope you can hear me. But my whole
I
phone is
do.
just frozen up. Okay, that's great because I literally was just trying to give you an emote. My whole phone just froze up. I can't even do anything. So I'm definitely glad you can hear me. But with that being said, community, obviously this is a lot to take today, and there's a lot that was unfolded. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time, asking the question.
I think he's gone. I'll finish off. You guys have been fantastic. So this brings the end to the actual call itself and the AMA. Please join the next time that crypto miners have come live again. And we appreciate your support, both crypto miners and liquid crypto. And Isria, still love you. Take care, guys. I'm leaving.